All right. That was a real-time example, guys, on how to keep your cool when shit's going bad. So, Wookie started barking. Someone was joining. I had no idea how to even cancel them or get them out of the thing. So anyway, here we are. That is exactly how you should handle yourself. Take deep breaths. No, it's like, look, even though I have technically been in the media business for years, I don't know everything, and that's the most beautiful thing, that you can come on here and go, I don't know what I'm doing, but hey, if you can just show up and keep your cool, then that's hopefully a good example for everyone, because inside I was like, what the fuck? So, so anyway, all right, let's get this shit going. Okay, the videos weren't doing well because apparently people aren't quite sure what to do, so I'm going to answer some questions. All right, so someone's actually said, why focus on girls 11 to 15? All right, I'm actually going to really answer, thank you for the question. So that's actually the main age of imprint. In all the studies that Tom and I have been doing, as you know, I've built Women of Impact, my husband's built Impact Theory, and what we've done is we really speak to people our age between, let's say, 18, 19 to around 40, 50, 60 years old, but there's a gap, the young generation. And there's I think it was Jeffrey Canada, who basically said that if you go back, he tried to help people change their lives. And he's like, the problem is when you go back, there's some hard wiring that's done between the age of 11 and 15, and it's called the age of imprint. So if you look back at things that have happened in your life, the chances are the things that you find hard to forget or hard to let go of happen between the ages of 11 and 15. So I go, okay, cool. That's the period where girls are going to be most susceptible. And I look at my life and I say, shit, I've spent the last 20 years trying to unwire all the negative things that I have been taught or taught to myself, the belief system that I'm not good enough, the fact that, I'm not pretty enough. Who do you think that you are? You should have kids and stay home and be married, and that is it. Like all these things I was taught as a young girl. So it took me over 20 years to unwire. So when I go, what's the no bullshit thing that I want to do with my life? Like the no bullshit, what do I actually want to do with my life? And for me is to help the people that maybe are struggling at the age that I am now, that have gone through, my transition over the last 10 years of finding my voice, finding who I am, being able to set boundaries, being able to build my own confidence. But then I go, but how do we help? Like, ideally, isn't it better that we don't have to unwind it, that we don't actually have to do the years and years and years of rewiring and feeling better about ourselves? So then I go, okay, well, what's the no bullshit answer to that? It's affecting the 11 to 15-year-old girls, that if we can if we can interrupt a girl's mind at that age and tell her, yes, you're freaking good enough, but you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to fall. You're going to have to understand that failure is absolutely part of the process, but you've got this. You can have the life, whatever you want. If you want to be a stay-at-home mother, don't let anyone else tell you different. If you want to be an entrepreneur and don't be married and just go hard for your business, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's the belief I want to instill in young girls. And so I go, how do I do that? And what's the no bullshit path to do it? And so that is creating entertainment, comic books, movies, television, animation, all these things that you see behind me. So this is actually part of our company here. All that stuff is to help, because a young girl is going to pick up a comic book. A young girl is going to watch a TV show, and a young girl is going to watch a movie. Now I can use that behavior and empower them through entertainment. So that was a really long answer, but I'm so freaking passionate about that. Is why young girls, that is also why my platform that I do now with Women of Impact and all of this thing is to help to try and combine the two. That I live a life of helping their 11 to 15-year-olds, and I'm also there for their mothers and their sisters and their aunts and their, you can see where that's going. So that's where I dedicate my life to. All right. So guys, please let me know what questions you have. All right, I'm going to be answering your questions live, so let me know. All right. Let's have a question. How can I interview people just like you? I'm 19, and how can I start initial skills? So how do you start initial skills of being an interviewer? So here's what I did. I was behind the scenes. I built Impact Theory. I was the fuel to my husband's rocket. At the time, the words, we didn't have that. So let's say he's the visionary and I was the executor. So behind the scenes, for years and years. We had, God, over 150 hour-long episodes where Tom was interviewing people. So in case you don't know, Inside Quest was me and my husband. So he was interviewing and I was behind the scenes, and each video I would watch at least once to twice. Now at the time I had no intention of being a host, ever. I was behind the scenes, and what I was doing without realizing it, that's why Karate Kid, going back to my mission of creating empowering content that teaches you but also entertains you. Karate Kid is the wax on, wax off, right? You're waxing this freaking car and you don't understand why. And in the end, you realize, oh my God, it's so I could be a badass and start blocking punches. So that is how I think of what I was doing when I was a producer. I was watching time and time again all this content and going, what hits me? What do I like? What do I don't like? And because I was producing it, I was cutting it. So I was cutting, not actually physically, I was sending it to an editor, but I was cutting out the things that didn't interest me. I was cutting out the things that I thought was boring. And so for years, I was seeing the tactics Tom would do, the tactics he would do when a guest would give an answer that actually wasn't an answer to his question. I'd see how he would maneuver. I would ask him questions, be like, oh yeah, God, that guest wasn't great. Like, you know, what could you have done better? And he would start to talk about it. And then seeing the improvements, I started to realize myself. Now, here's the thing. So that's where I think you guys should start. Who's the person you think is great at it? Like, actually great, and look at what they do. Now, what I did is I went in and I was like, I'm just going to mimic him because I don't know anything else. So I would go in and literally, if you look at my first episodes, I was just going, what would Tom do? What would Tom do? What would Tom do? So I was, in essence, acting like him. It just gave me a foundation. I'm actually not saying, like, in fact, I'm saying that was a great strategy. It gave me a foundation and a confidence to at least get in front of the camera, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing. So I had the game plan, just do what Tom does. When he maneuvers, when he gets started, you know the tricks that he does because I've learned them. Okay, then over time, I start to feel, what is me? What feels right? And then I start to adopt, what is Lisa? Now I go out of mimic mode and I go into acknowledge the things that feel right for me. And then I would actually watch my content. So I'm not that sort of person who's like, oh, isn't that vain to watch your own content? No, it's not. If you want to get better, you look at where you fell. So I would watch all these episodes and go, where I fell, what I did wrong. Oh my God, that was a terrible question, Lisa. And I would just remind myself, why was that a terrible question? What question should I have asked? What question could I have asked to get a better answer? And in that process, in that revision is where you get strong. But you cannot get better if you don't make that first video. Like, you can't get better if you don't make that second video. You can't get better if you don't fall on your face and go, that video was terrible. You cannot get better. So anyone listening right now, whether it's a video that you're trying to do or a business that you're trying to do or just anything, you cannot get better if you don't try. It's in the process of where you get better. So hopefully that was a question that helped you. All right, I'm going to brave it. I'm going to brave it. See, in fact, if you just followed me and saw that I brought someone on and it went terribly wrong, I'm not afraid to try again. Because yes, while I could have someone else whose camera is facing the ceiling and isn't listening to me, it isn't a reason to not try again. So I'm going to try again. Who's got a good question? Let's try again. Let's give it a shot. And you guys are just going to have to bear with me if it ends up being another disaster. And I could sing. I could show you. Oh, no, I don't know why they're not coming on. All right. I've just invited Women of Impact. Let's see if they join. See if Women of Impact joined. All right. While I'm waiting for other people to join, I'm just going to get another question because I'm extremely impatient. Okay, let's have a look. Drop in your questions, guys. I'm answering. Oh, did Women of Impact join me? All right, guys. So, this is my sister joining. If you guys are not following Women of Impact, go over right now. Follow Instagram, Women of Impact. I'm so freaking proud. All right, here's a great example.
I can't believe.
My sister, when I said, are you willing to join? I actually thought she wouldn't because she's like, there's no freaking way I'm joining. I'm in my pajamas. Anyway, so big shout out. that she probably didn't want to join and still did. Again, this is a
Correct.
great example of how you show up to be the person you want to be, not necessarily the person you are. So right now, my sister's probably shitting herself to be on this live right now, but she didn't push back. She didn't say no. She gave it a chance. So I want that to be an amazing example for everybody else. Bless her. And then also, I just want to give a big shout out, because if you guys do like Women of Impact Instagram, this woman is the jam behind it. She lives to influence and to help women. So Lily, do you want to ask a question?
It's International Women's Day today, so I can't believe we're on a live together. I'm so excited. And you're right, I didn't want to be here at all. I was like, why is she inviting me?
I love that.
Oh, I love you. I miss you. Happy International Women's Day.
Yeah, buddy.
So do I want to ask you a question?
Is there anything on your heart? Obviously, you're on social all the time. Is there anything that you think would benefit the women watching right now, or anyone watching right now?
Oh, gosh. Like so many things. I mean, so many things are weighing, I think, on women's hearts at the moment. So, but I think namely to do with confidence, right? Self-confidence. Like, how do you bring yourself to these things every single day, and you come with such passion and such energy and such love for what you do, and I'm so proud of you how you approach it. But even, you know, being on here, like you say, I'm shitting myself. So I know you kind of answered a question before about coming online, but let's focus more on the confidence that you bring. You know, how do you do that? Is that practice over time? Is that, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so you go.
Well, what I love is, obviously, you know me, you remember me from when I wasn't the confident, the very insecure young girl. So anyone joining, this is my sister, who also runs Women of Impact, and is just an incredible badass. She's my older sister by 1 year and 11 months. And she is honestly, she's honestly my hero.
Oh, lost you.
Because when we were kids, I'm still a worse when it comes to spiders, and so she would let me go and sleep in her room for 3 days. I don't know why. This was always a thing.
Always had to be 3 days. Yeah, 24 hours wasn't long enough. And not only that, but you had to sleep in my bed, right? Not on the floor. I wasn't even allowed to sleep on the floor, right? We had to sleep in my single bed, squished together, just in case anything happened.
Well, because the likelihood is, at least if we were together and a spider crawled on me, there's at least 50-50 chance it's going to go to you. Oh dear.
I was closer to save you.
Yeah. So everyone, my sister obviously very much remembers me being insecure and not really having the confidence. And so what's the question, Lo? I got so into
so just how do you bring your confident self every day? I mean, you know, what's the key to kind of breaking free from those insecurities that all women have about their looks, about their age, about, you know, so I'm 43. I definitely have those feelings of, oh God, I'm getting older. So how do you kind of bring that, you know, you're not that much younger than me, Lee, you know, you're in your 40s. So
I don't know what you mean. Chicken.
Sorry to remind you.
So here's the thing. Yeah, so thanks for the question, though. So I'll go to the age thing first, right? It's never bothered me, because I've always felt like well, actually, that's not true. I was going to give you a really fluffy answer, and I'm not going to bullshit you. So let me back up. I think it comes down to, why do people actually feel bad about getting older? Like, what is it about it? Is it that you feel like you've wasted years, right? I hear that a lot. I've wasted a lot of years, and now I'm older, and like now I've only just realized what I want in life. And it's, you know me, Lo, everything's freaking perspective. Everything's perspective, Lo. So if you go to like, you know, I haven't done enough with my life, or I've spent so many years wasted, it's like, okay, well then you're going to feel badly about yourself. But look at me. I spent 8 years as a stay-at-home wife, and you never hear me go, I can't believe I wasted all those years. Like, I'll do it sometimes as a joke, but I'm like, I use it as a lesson, and I use it as a way to teach myself to not make that same mistake. So now literally I'm like, I use it as as my superpower. So anytime, and you know me, Lo, like my sister will reach out to me. She's like, hey, do you have time to do blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, I've wasted 8 years doing something I didn't want to do. I'm not going to waste 8 years and one single minute. So I use my things of my past that I sometimes initially may want to kick myself over, and I use it to empower myself now, right? So you know, everything's reframing. And then just even with age, I think it was Lillian Garcia who said this, and it's the perfect way to put it.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah,
but
you've
say
got
it.
two choices, guys. Celebrate getting older, or be dead. Like, I think that's the most freaking empowering thing to tell someone. Some people don't like it, but I do. You've got a choice. Celebrate your birthday, or be dead. Like, once you put it like that, it's like, well, shit, of course I want another birthday. So now the question is, what do you want to spend the next year of your life doing? Because I think that's also it. It's like, oh my God, all of a sudden I'm 45. Oh my God, all of a sudden I'm 50. It's not all of a sudden. It's the fact that you've chosen to turn your back to the notion that you're at a certain age and what do you want out of life. And the problem is we don't force ourselves to look at that, right? We don't force ourselves to go, what do I actually want? And the reason why I don't think we force ourselves is sometimes we don't want to know the answer.
Or we don't have the answer. And finding the answer is so confusing. There are so many, it feels overwhelming, right? Sometimes to set goals. There are so many things that I could do. And so now I've got all these options and I don't want to do any of them, right? It's like that. You walk into a shop and you see all of these options and now you don't choose anything because there are too many options to choose from.
Didn't we just have this argument like yesterday on our family call where it was like, well, there's too many, with food. It's like, there's too many options. I honestly wanted to jump through my phone and like grab my sister by the neck because she's like, I know, there's too many food options. Like, we just need 2 options and then I'd be able to choose. I'm like, no. I want all the options in the world and now I want to choose what's right for me. It's like that, I think it's the Stephen King short stories, where I'm actually not sure, but there was a short story written where it's like, there's a world where there's infinite time, you never die. And what it ends up happening is there's 2 groups of people. One group of people are like, oh, I've got so much time. I'm never, I don't need to do this today. I've got tomorrow. I'm going to Netflix and chill today. Don't need to do that. I've got all the time in the world. And what ends up happening is you sit on your ass and you don't do anything. Or the other part of the other group are like, oh my God, I have all the time in the world to do everything now I've ever wanted. And now every single day I wake up on fire. Oh my God, I've got time to do this. I'm going to play the piano. I'm going to learn a language. Which person are you? Right? That's what it comes down to. Which person are you? And even in this time on COVID and lockdown, it's like, now's the time to ask yourself, which person are you? Because you've almost got the excuse, quote unquote, to Netflix and chill, right? So, well, I can't go out. It's like, and then people will blink and a year will go by and they'll be like, oh, people refer to this. And I'm always saying this to you. People refer to this as the lost year. It's like, you have the choice to call it a lost year. I'm not freaking calling it a lost year. This is the year.
I literally read that today.
Did you?
I literally read that today. Yeah. Like, this doesn't have to be the year that just went by without any movement forward, without any growth. You can still grow whether you're at home or whether you're out and about. It's internal. It's the internal work, isn't it, that you do? But going back to what you were saying about goals, I think actually that's a really important point. So as you get older, especially, it is important to have those goals and to feel like you're still achieving things. Your life isn't over. And you mentioned Lillian Garcia. She gave a really strong example of a friend of hers who passed away, and he was in his 50s. Do you remember this? He was in his 50s and he passed away, and people said, he's so young. That's so young to die at that age. And she said, well, hell, if I'm too young to die in my 50s, then I'm young, right? I refuse to see myself as being old at this age. So
isn't
really
it interesting?
powerful.
This is actually where I thought you were going. But isn't it interesting that age is a reflection of almost the subject you're talking about? Because it's like, oh, he's too young to die. But when he was alive, I bet you any money, people go, oh, he was too old to do X, Y, and Z. So it's like, that's what I want to shatter, right? That's what I want to shatter on the idea that we should be anything other people think we should. We have like fuck the ticking clock. There is no ticking clock. You get to decide, right? And I think the worry of, oh my God, I'm just getting older makes the ticking clock be scary. And so that's why I'm like, push it out. Like I joke, but kind of joke, no joke, is that, I want to live till I'm 150. So it's like, oh shit, I'm only 40 or 41. Guys, I got another 100 years to now do everything I freaking want to do, instead of saying I'm too old, you know. I'm so proud of you for coming on, Lil.
Thank you for having me.
Can I get a bunch of hearts for my sister, because she is not used to being in front of the camera, and I'm so freaking proud of her for being on here and then holding. Look at that love, Lil. Women of Impact, guys. If you're not following on Instagram, go over. This woman literally pours her heart and soul into that page to make sure that she impacts women. So go on over and big it up to my sis.
And I love you. And it's so special that we did this on this particular day. So thank you for having me.
Love you, Lil.
Love you. Bye.
And I know that right now my mum is probably losing her freaking mind that her 2 daughters are on live. All right, guys, I'm answering questions live. So drop them in the comments. Do one of those sticker questions. All right, I'm going to answer them. I'm going to answer this question. All right. How do you block out the naysayers? This is from Lily McBee. How did you your own path? All right, so here's the thing. I stopped trying to block them out. It's like the negative voice, right? It's like those people that post, don't give a shit. I'm gonna say, guys, I do give a shit. The naysayers, I still hear them. So I have learned to not focus my energy on not hearing them. I have learned to not focus my energy on blocking out the naysayers, blocking out the haters, blocking out the fact that, like, pretending that I don't care when I really do. It's like I just stopped doing it. I was like, all right, this is a wasted energy. I can't stop it. And I'd like to think I haven't learned to yet. Don't like to say I can't, but I'm unable to right now. So, okay, I'm unable to, but that doesn't mean I quit. That doesn't mean that I fall to my knees and go, oh, well, that is that. It's like, no, this doesn't serve me. Naysayers do not serve you. So I have gone, okay, I can't block them out. How can I use them to my advantage? How can I use this as my superpower? I love using that phrase. It makes me feel powerful. So you're going to hear me say it all the freaking time. How can I use this as my superpower? So I go, all right, maybe the naysayers, first things first, maybe the naysayers are actually right. Maybe they actually have a point. Maybe they're saying, Lisa, you're terrible in front of the camera. Now my ego freaking doesn't want to hear it. But maybe they've got a point. Okay, dear naysayer, how am I bad in front of the camera? Well, Lisa, you just waffle. You don't give any takeaways. All right, great. Great, you've just told me something. I don't give any takeaways. I'm going to use that. I'm going to analyze it next time. Go, have I actually given any takeaways? Now my naysayer is no longer my kryptonite. It is my freaking superpower. All right, what else? Let's say they're not even being constructive. Let's just say they're saying, Lisa, you look terrible. In fact, I've had a naysayer. I use this example a lot, so if you've heard me say it, I apologize, but it was such a fun comment. So I had someone, I was on Women of Impact, I was doing an episode, the episode released, I was so freaking proud, I was so happy, and one of the comments were, Lisa, I think this discussion's great, but I can't watch it anymore because your pink leg warmers are an eyesore and they make me feel like I'm in the 80s and I can't watch you anymore. All right, now in that moment, it's a bit of a naysayer saying, hey, I don't like your fashion. And so I go, well, hang on, my goal is to actually impact people. My goal is for people to watch the content and for me to impact. So right now, the naysayer is saying that the way I look, the way I dress is actually putting her off my goal of impacting people. So now I go, what is more important? Is it more important to listen to what they're saying and work towards my goal and go, okay, she's dented my ego. This feels really bad, but I need to get over it and I just need to get rid of the leg warmers. Or do I say, Lisa, who are you and what is important to you? So I sit there and go, Lisa, who are you and what's important to you? It is important for me to always show up authentically me, 100 1000% authentically me. Guys, you can't push me around. You can't tell me what to do, because I have over time established who is Lisa. What does Lisa stand for? And it's kind of weird referring to myself in the third person, but it actually gives impact. So what is that thing that is important to me? And don't let other people push me around. And it took me time. It all started though with what is important to me. And so I started saying what's important to me is my fashion, because it's an expression of me. And so I'd written, even before I got on camera, all these things that were important. So the second a naysayer came along and it kind of didn't align with my goal, I almost got rid of my leg warmers. But then I went back to my list and I was like, what's important? Oh, being authentically you. Oh, always showing up to be a representative of who you are. And so I was like, sorry, even though I'm going against my goal of impacting people, because right now you can't watch my video because you don't like my leg warmers, I must stay true to me. Because if I'm not staying true to me, then I'm going to show up here and then everything else. Why should you listen to me? Like, and I actually mean that. You shouldn't listen to me if I'm turning up bullshitting you. And so that's important to me. So going back to the naysayers, listen to what they're saying. Listen to if there's truth. If there's truth, take it on. See it as a friend. See it as a power that they've just given you. And if it's not true, say, sorry, then don't follow me. If you don't like my pink leg warmers, then I'm not for you. But by golly, I'm going to wear them again. And that's that. All right. Whew, that took a lot out of me. I was so like amped about it. My pig leg warmer story. I love the story. All right, next person. I'm a little skeptical now to bring other people on. Just so you know, I tried it once, failed, tried it again, failed again. So I brought my sister on, but I don't want to block it. So I may be open to it if you have another question and you want to join me on video. But I'm answering another question. All right. So, sorry guys, just looking at the questions if you've got one. All right. All right, this one's good. All right. Thank you for the question. How do you get your motivation back up when you're not feeling your best mentally? This is a great question. All right. Again, like I said, I'm not going to bullshit you guys. Sometimes I just give myself grace. And I'm like, yep, you're not motivated today. Allow yourself not to be motivated. Like, that's actually freaking true. We're always just like, oh my God, I've got to push myself, No. Sometimes you've got to let yourself just not be motivated. Now, here's the key to not stay there. You cannot allow yourself to stay there. And so give yourself a time. Is it a day? Is it 2 hours? Is it 5 hours? Like, this is actually what I do. In those moments, I'm like, I'm just tired. I can't push past myself. So just give myself 2 hours, 3 hours. Netflix and chill, Lisa. Do whatever the frick you like and just do nothing. But once you're done, once that timer is over, tell yourself, now you must get back up. Now, just saying that sometimes may not work. What does getting back up actually look like? I am so very specific because my emotions, guys, always lead me astray. Always. So I know I can't trust them. So when I say, what does getting back up look like? I have to actually come up with a game plan because I know my emotions in that moment when I've said, all right, Lisa, 2 hours is up, your alarm's going off. I know myself and I'm like, but it's so lovely. But this bath is so wonderful. But this show is so funny, right? This ice cream is delicious. There's like so many things that you can give, so many reasons on why you don't get back up. So I just say, I need to get back up. Now, here's the key. You should probably do this before you get to the moment where you're not motivated. You should probably do it. Maybe if I'm motivating you right now, as soon as I'm done, get off, write the list of all the things you can do. Because doing that list when you're not motivated, guess what? You're not going to be motivated to do the list. So start writing a list when you're motivated. So what are you going to do? All right. After 2 hours, I am going to put on this song. Right? That's where I start. Music is my freaking jam. You put on Destiny's Child, I'm a Survivor, I literally can't shut up. No matter how mad I am, no matter what mood I'm in, I honestly cannot help myself but get motivated. You want to listen to lyrics that motivate me? That song Like, just listen to the lyrics of Survivor, and I'm sure people are like hating how much I keep bringing this song up, but it's like come back on my radar, and now I sing it to my heart's content. It's like you couldn't keep me down. You tried to break my heart, and now I love more. You thought I couldn't sell any, and now I'm selling millions. Like, that shit gets me motivated. So I put that song on, and then what do? I make sure I allow myself to embody it. So guys, I don't know if you notice, I use all my hands. I lean forward. I do the funny tone of voice. All of this, all of those things are because it makes me feel a certain way. When people say, how are you so energized? I'm not always like this. Trust me, I wouldn't be able to sustain being like this. But when I want to be motivated, when I want to be energized, I make sure I use my hands. I come into an environment that makes me happy. Like, I have all these freaking statues around me. Right? Like, come on now. Does that not make you want to like jump up and do a Wonder Woman kick in the freaking air? Right? We've got my Terminator down there. I've got like my storybook for young girls. It's like I surround myself with things that make me want to be motivated, so that when I do not have it, I lean on everything else. This necklace, I love. In fact, here's the thing. I love what Wonder Woman stands for. As a character, it's like, she's good. She's got a whip. She's kind of cool. I'm writing a better badass superhero. More of that to come. But why do I always have Wonder Woman? Because it's a symbol of what it represents. It represents being the hero of your own life. I wear Wonder Woman necklace because it represents to me when I look in the mirror, when I'm doing this live now. In fact, I didn't even think about that. But when I'm doing this live now, I see myself. I see my Wonder Woman necklace. I see the woman behind me doing the thing. That's how you get motivated. It's not going to happen by accident. To me, I can't just listen to a podcast. I can't just listen to a book, because that only lasts 30 minutes, an hour. I wish to God, guys, you could watch me on this and the rest of the day, in fact, for the rest of the week, I honestly wish you guys would be motivated. I'm good. Listen to Lisa on IG and I'm good for the week. No, the chances are in a couple of hours, something's going to happen. Someone's going to come at you. Someone's going to say something that has upset you. Someone's going to tell you you're no good. Someone's going to tell you you're no good. And what do you do then? You need to be able to have the tools in your tool belt to get up. So, music, number 1. Things around you, number 2. Fashion, number 3. Jewelry, all of this. These are all the things to get you motivated. So now you just have to make a list and say, what is that for me? You may put a Wonder Woman necklace on and go, I feel ridiculous. This doesn't make me feel empowering at all. So I'm not actually saying put a Wonder Woman necklace on. I'm just saying, what is that for you? What is that? What is that song? What is that thing you're going to turn to? And now make it a point to actually turn to it. Make a commitment to yourself to actually turn to it. All right. I think I've answered that question. Hands on. Next question. All right. People like the fashion thing. Yes, yes, yes. Fashion. I've got my bad bitch boots on. Oh, not actually, I don't actually have them on right now, but I always have them on hand. Get your bad bitch boots ready. All right, I'm going to risk now going live on someone else. Let's have a look. Gigi. I know Gigi, so I can pretty much guarantee this girl is going to come on and be ready with a question. Come on, Gigi. What up, girl? I think she can hear me. She's asked questions before, so normally she's really good and ready for a question, but she may have bad internet, so until she... Gigi, you back?
Hello? Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, great. I feel like I'm your friend right now because we talked a bunch of times. I want to say something to you that I never told you. The reason why I joined this journey is you, because of your background. And I'm also Greek Orthodox and I related to you, and that changed my life. So my question is, because you and Tom talk about doing the work and I started a lot of that, why so hard to do the work? Because it's worth it. And you know, it's hard to go back to your childhood and understand all that and go through all of that. Why is that so hard? And that's the secret of living. Because I had this breakthrough moment. It's like let's say you achieve all your goals and the person you love the most died, and that doesn't matter. So you need to ask yourself if you're enjoying the journey. So that's a question that I'm asking every day. So why people choose not to do the work or hope there is a
Why?
shortcut?
Oh, why do people choose not to do the work? Because it sucks. Like, I'm just going to be honest, right? Looking at yourself, looking at your inadequacies, looking at what you're not good at, looking that you've hurt people, looking at the way that you think emotionally derails you from your own goals, looking at the fact that the way you are may upset other people, may hurt your family, right? The fact that I don't want to be a stay-at-home wife upset my dad. The fact that I don't want children devastates my mum. So the work is hard. So it's, you know, it's hard for other people to accept you, but it makes you feel badly. Like, I look at myself, like, at least I used to look at myself and look at all the things that made me sad, and it made me feel badly. And so I stopped looking at it, because not looking at it is kind of like turning a blind eye. Now, where I changed was I asked myself, what life do I actually want? Like, what life do I actually want? If all I want to do is feel good about myself, I need to leave the business right now. I need to stop this growth mindset share. I need to, like, never read another mindset book ever again, because you have to look at where your flaws are. You have to look at where you're weak. And that is why. It's like, why do people eat ice cream if most people want six-pack abs? It's because it's freaking hard. It takes daily work every single day to look at your nutrition, to look at how often you're going to the gym. It is all consuming. It is looking in the mirror to say, maybe right now the belly that you have isn't good enough. Like, it just feels shitty, and ice cream tastes amazing. So it's the same analogy, right? It's doing the mindset work is hard, and not doing it and just telling yourself you're the shit can work temporarily. So in long term, I think it doesn't serve you. In long term, I think doing the hard work is what will actually get you the life that you want. And so for me, I love the work. And if you can find joy in the work, then you've got your jam, right? And that's what and you know, you said it at the beginning, it's like, nothing's ever guaranteed to enjoy the journey. So for me, the work, I try to enjoy it. So I make jokes about the fact that, you know, oh, the little negative Lisa that was last year, you know, I've killed her off and now I'm, you know, writing the new Lisa. Like, having fun with things like that, seeing the joy and going, oh my God, last time someone said X, Y, and Z to me, I lost my share. And this time I just smiled. Right? Like, that I can feel proud of. In fact, when I was a kid and someone hurt me, I would either lash out, like be so pissed and be angry and mad at them and scream at them, or I would be heartbroken and I would be in tears on my bed. And about 2 years ago now, well, a long time ago, I got stabbed in the back very badly. I don't talk about it. I've never actually spoken about it, but I have. I've been stabbed in the back very harshly. And I knew that if I met them accidentally and I bumped into them on the street, I knew that upset and anger inside me would explode. And I knew it. I was like, I am that heartbroken and hurt by this person. And as I started to do the work, I realized that didn't serve me, that just made me feel like I was even more inadequate, that yes, they deserved to stab you in the back. Like, I don't say that as like, fuck you, Lisa, you deserved it. But like, I really do, you know, go over the process of, you know, I still allow them to, I posted this quote very recently. It was, it's the Dalai Lama that says, swallowing poison, expecting the other person to die, right? It's like that. That's how I see hate. I see hate as they don't really care, right? For all I know, there's hundreds of people that hate me right now, right? That's the truth. I don't know. So if you hate me, you're really only doing yourself a disservice, because it has no impact on my life. And so when you realize that the hate that you're holding on to only has a negative effect on that person, then I go to, okay, that doesn't serve me. So then I say, how do I change it? And so when I go through the growth mindset process, it is all right, Lisa, what did you do wrong that caused this person to maybe stab you in the back? And then also, who do you want to be? Like, it's hard, right? It's like, okay, did I ever do them wrong? Was I ever like insensitive towards them? Like, that's hard shit to do. And then go, what happens when I see them? Even if I have every right, because I still do. I'm going to be honest. I have every right to blast them and tell the world exactly what happened. I have every right to, but I won't. Why? Because it doesn't serve me. That doesn't make me feel good about myself, pulling someone else down, right? Like, how do I get my own confidence? It is not to step on someone else. It is not to pull them down. It is for me to show up, to be the true me. Now, how do I do that when I end up being face to face with someone that I could blast and that actually has every right to stab, that I could blast back? I just take ownership. I go, all right, what can I do differently? And when I see them, Lisa, you need to own you are who turns up. And so who do I want to turn up? I won't feel good if I'm this loud, obnoxious, screw you type person, right? Because what happens? Everyone dismisses you. When you're that erratic, people will dismiss you. And so for me, I'm like, okay, I don't want to be dismissed. It's not about even them. It's about my own dignity. And so what is the roadmap I'm going to live by when I bump into them? Like, I actually had this because I was like, I know I will bump into them. I know I will bump into them one day. And I know, I've just laid out, right? I know how I will react if I don't come up with a roadmap. So I had a roadmap and I bumped into them. And in this moment, they knew as well. They saw me from across the room because they knew they stabbed me in the back as well. This isn't one of these behind the scenes things. They knew that they'd stabbed me in the back. They knew that I knew it. And they saw me from a distance. And in that moment, my heart went, and I took a deep breath. Who do you want to be, Lisa? And I literally just said that. Who do you want to be? Now, I prepared myself and I smiled and I went up to them. And I was like, hey, so great to meet you. Because this was in a group, so they had been with people that I knew. So it wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm just going to go up to them and say hello. So no, they were around my friends as well. So I just went up and I was like, hi, how are you? Lovely to see you again. And they were so beyond shocked. So beyond, because they knew, they're like, oh my gosh, she's going to fucking blast me right now. And I didn't. And I was like, hey, so great to see you. How's your health? How's your family? Right? Because I don't wish ill will on their health. I don't wish ill will on their family. So I'm not. And there you go. So I'm not going to pretend to be someone else, right? I'm not going to say shit that doesn't align. Like, I won't pretend, but I was the person I wanted to be and I didn't hold it against them. And I was like, here's the thing. The reason why they stabbed me in the back, once I put myself in their shoes, it was out of their own weakness, their own insecurities. And that's how I was able to come up with a game plan. Once I realized they stabbed me in the back because of their own insecurities, because of their own weakness. And now it's like, I kind of feel sorry for them. And I think I've actually completely derailed from what you actually asked me, but like it really did, that hit me. So I thought it was actually quite important to say out loud.
Yeah, I mean, when you said, what have I done for this to happen to me, even if you're the one that's wrong, it's like, that's so powerful. Because I think people don't think about that. And also when things happen to me now, I have a quote I say, I don't have to be right, I have to be kind. So yeah, that's one of my mantras. It's like, I don't have to be right, I have to be kind.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
When you're by yourself, right, no matter, and this is what I honestly, guys, like I'm still really naive about why people do this. I honestly don't understand why people go onto other people's platforms and just hate on each other. Like, if you don't like what I say, just don't follow me, right? And so when I say, if I've actually hurt someone, like let's say it's a friend, if I've actually hurt someone, it's like, I love that it's be kind. right? Or if someone's even hurt me, be kind back. Because I know when I'm by myself, I want to be the person that shows up every day to be kind. I don't want to show up and be cruel, even if someone was cruel to me, because that's not the person I want to be when I go to bed at night. Lisa, do you want to be a cruel person? No, I can give every reasons, right? We always can give reasons of why we act in a certain way. Yes, but they did this. Yes, but they did this. And what? What did you do? Did you retaliate? You can't blame them for that. For me, I can absolutely walk away. Now, look, there are a lot of circumstances that I'm sure I'm ignoring where certain people are trapped in certain situations, so I don't want to be naive to that. So I am all talking from, you know, the perspective of where I come from in that control with a friend or a person that I know. But, well, thank you so much, Gigi, as always, for asking the questions.
Thank you so much for always answering and doing all of this. Like, you guys are incredible. And I hope I'll have you one day on my podcast. And I know I made a promise that I'm going to be on your podcast and Tom's podcast.
I was going to say, you made me a promise that you're going to come on my couch, girl. So
yeah. I'm planning to move where you guys are after this is over. Like, a lot of things are happening. So yeah, I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Oh, it's really, take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. What question we got? Let's do one more question or a few more questions. All right. All right. Hopefully this is enjoyable. Happy International Women's Day, everybody. What kind of question do we want to ask? Motivation. All right, we've got a lot of what to do when you're down. I feel like I've covered that. Let's have a look. Oh God. Oh, I clicked on the question. I would love to have you on my podcast. I was like, I clicked on something accidentally. I will. Sorry about that. Okay, if you can email me at connect@impacttheory.com, and the request can go there. All right, I'm gonna do one more. Let's just do one more sticker question. All right, is it really worth it looking out for people who actually wish bad for you and don't best of you? It's really worth looking out for people. It depends who they are. I so wanted to give you just like a nope, but that's BS. So it all depends. This is so nuanced. So when you say wish bad for you, what do you mean, right? If it's like, are you interpreting they wish bad for you, or they're actually wishing bad? And the reason why I say that, let's say it's family, you're like, I really want to go abroad and study X, Y, and Z, and your family's like, you're not going to make it, like, what are you doing? Is that wishing bad for you, or is that just giving negativity to you? So that's where I'm conflicted. If it's just someone's actually wishing you bad, I hope you fail. Like, that's what I do to people who wish me bad. Like, that's it. Like, you want me to fail? You wish me bad? All right, you're on my list. Like, I couldn't get down with someone like that. So even if it was family, like, if my family actually wished me bad, like, I just would cut off. Like, end of, that shit is not good for you. It is not good if someone deliberately wants you to fail. So there is no world around that. If you feel badly about yourself and that's why you want me to fail, I have absolute empathy, but still don't be in my life. Right? Like, I really feel badly for you that you want me to fail because you're suffering from X, Y, and Z. And I really mean that. That is shitty that anyone has to suffer from something. So much so that they want ill will for somebody else. Like, can you imagine how much struggle you're going through that you want bad for someone else? Like, that actually breaks my heart. But even then, no. I just kind of want to do that. I did that 3 times. Never expected to do that at all. So there you go. That's my answer. But if it is somebody that just has a negative attitude towards things that you're doing, I think absolutely it is worth working through, talking through why they're negative, and just let them know. So there you go. All right. One more. All right. I'm going to bring someone on. Let's see. All right. Hello, you are now live. Hello.
Oh, hi. Oh my God. Oh, wow. I was doing my makeup. I'm so sorry. I didn't see that.
Oh my God, I love it. Let's see your makeup, girl.
I'm working on it. I just did my
Oh.
You were talking about fashion and like that is like helping with motivation. I realized like I'm on the couch and I haven't done my makeup today. And so I literally went upstairs during the live stream and started doing my makeup.
Oh my God. Honestly, you don't know how much you just made my day. I love that you did it. Now, how are you feeling now that you're putting your makeup on?
I'm already feeling better. It always helps me feel more motivated. So it's good.
I love that. So how can I help you? You got a question? What's your name?
Oh, my name is Morgan.
Morgan, lovely to meet you, sweetie.
Thank you. And so I'm a fan of Dr. Ramani, who you just did a video with. And so I'm in a situation where I have a narcissistic mother. And I do pretty well in my business. I own 2 businesses actually, but I'm staying with my parents right now because I was like, well, if I can just live for free, I can keep saving up money, just go buy a place, and then I never have to worry about rent again. That would be cool. But it is taxing on my mental health. And so I'm not sure at this point, like, you know, what should I do? Like, focus on my mental health and do the thing that's better for that, or like wait this out and tough it out. And so I'm kind of I'm in a position where I'm like, I don't know which priority to put first here.
The great news is it's an easy answer. Mental health all the way, 100%, without doubt. Without that, honestly, girl, like you won't be able to sustain anything else. You won't be able to sustain. I'm sorry?
I said I'm feeling that a little bit. I was much more motivated before.
Yeah. Like, so I don't know how much you know about me, but I've had massive health issues for about 5 years now, gut issues. And so I wasn't really able to eat a lot of nutritious food and things like that. So that affected my mental health. And once my mental health, like that had the biggest effect ever on my business, on me as a wife, me as a friend, me as a daughter. Like it impacted everything. It wasn't just my business. So 100%, like do what you have to do to take care of your mental health, because if you don't, because let's face it, no matter how many, like I really hope your business is crushing it, but no matter how much it's crushing it, there's going to be moments of struggle. And in those moments of your business being in struggle, how do you show up? If you're not mentally healthy, you're going to crumble. So for the sake of your business, right? Like you're trying to do it to save money, but actually I think in the long run, it's going to be the most detrimental thing for your business.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was starting to think it would be. And I'm actually starting to feel like a physical impact on my body from the stress. And I had that happen last year in the beginning of 2020. But it got so bad to the point where like I wasn't able to function practically. And actually watching you talk about it, I was like, I had never heard of somebody like having a physical reaction to stress before. And so like your content's been really helpful for that. But
thank you, girl. And look,
thank you.
You know, it's because it's important. It really is. And look, I'm not going to bullshit you either. There are times I ignore my health. There really are. And me to say anything else would be false. And I don't want to set you up for falseness. Yeah. So perfect example is actually 3 weeks ago. So we've been building towards, we had this massive deadline, and it's like, we've been working so hard, and it just came flooding. And it was like, oh, you have to stay up till 1 a.m. You have to basically not think about food, just eat whenever you can, right? And I had a choice in that moment. And in that moment, I had to stop because my gut was hurting me so bad, because it was telling me you're pushing yourself too much. And in that moment, I said to myself, your gut and your body want you to stop. Okay, I actually said that to myself. And I said, but what am I doing over here? Is it worth it? And I said, okay, I've got a deadline. It's 2 weeks away. I've got to go hard. And then after that deadline, I'm going to heal myself. Now, I actually said, is that a good strategy, Lisa? Are you going to go too deep in the unhealthy rabbit hole so that you can't come back out? Now, the truth is I've been here long enough. I know I can come back out. And also the truth is I live for my passion, and that is to help young girls. And so I couldn't have looked myself in the mirror in that 2 weeks and say, I didn't show up for those young girls. That's just me. Now, look, I knew I couldn't stay there. And that's why I need to repeat it, right? Is that there are times that you're going to have to go hard and go, I'm doing this, but do it with your eyes wide open. Be very careful about your mental state. Like for you, know where those, put flags, right? Like, okay, I know when, for me, I start cleaning. I don't freaking know why. I just start cleaning. So my subconscious is telling me to clean before I realize I'm stressed. So what I do is go, oh, I'm cleaning. Oh, I must be stressed. And now I know how to then act.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, so I know I can push myself. I know how to like ebb and flow, but I also know how to crush it for my company. And I don't want to just sit on the couch and get better. I could stop my business and I could be 100% healthy. That's not the life I want. So now I go, how do I ebb and flow? So with you, it's like, it is your environment, girl. You're there every day. You're living there. There's no escape, right? For me, I had an escape. I knew in a week or 2 weeks, I've got this escape. And I knew for that, a week after, I wasn't going to take meetings. I was going to go to bed early. I was going to drink lots of water. Like I had a freaking game plan. But I knew I had this healing as a plan. But for you, it seems like you don't, especially if you're just running the business. From there, it's like you're going to get in the habit of being like, but I'm saving money. But I'm saying, oh, but look how much money I'm saving. And you're going to convince yourself it's the right move until you don't have the mental capacity or the emotional stability to come back and show up. So that's why, and that's why I didn't want to just give you a very blanket answer. It's 100% your environment being there 24/7 is not going to be good for you. So now ask yourself, what do I have to back off in my business right now, temporarily? What do I have to back off so I can now live in a space that is good for my mental state? Just for now, what do I have to back off? I'm just going to stop. I'm going to put this over here for a month or whatever, right? Have a game plan like I did. I had a game plan. In 2 weeks after, I'm going to sleep well. I'm going to eat on time. I'm not going to go to bed late. I had these things. So make that game plan for you. And then once you've then been able to take care of your mental state on a daily basis, you've got a plan that you can keep going, then you can start to figure out, okay, how do I now build enough finances in order to build this part of the business up again?
Yeah, I think that's all really good advice. It's, I struggle a little bit with like, if something is hard, my brain says I have to learn how to just get through it. And so part of why I think I'm even like staying here at all is I'm just like, well, I just need to learn to be okay with this. And like, it's like I'm manufacturing my own struggles and I don't need to be doing that.
I'm so glad you said that, because that is so true. Because here's the thing. In fact, I'm going to flip it on you and say that's an amazing superpower of yours, that you're not willing to just stop when it gets hard. Be proud of that, right now. Be proud. I'm not going to just stop when it gets hard, but I'm smart enough to assess if it's the right decision or not. That's just the thing you need to add to the sentence, right? Because I hear you, the amount of women that are like, but I don't want to be a wuss, but I don't want to just give up when it's hard. I hear people saying, Lisa, you keep saying you can't give up when things are hard, right? I get that. So now it's like, that doesn't mean you should keep going when it's absolutely the worst decision to do it, right? It's have a strategy, have a plan, and then also start to now believe in yourself. Tell yourself, I don't give up when things are weak. So now when you have the identity of the person that doesn't give up when they're weak, when you feel like something is hard, then you go, oh, well, I've got them. I know that I'm not weak. So I know it's not this. And so now if I know I'm not weak and it's not this, what do I have to do differently? Is it that this actually isn't good for my health? Right? Like, we've got to get good. We've got to get freaking good of going. What makes sense and what doesn't? Don't just be a beast in the boardroom if you're going to freaking crumble, right? Like, that doesn't serve you. So, but ask yourself the question, right? It's your mental health. Okay, girl, your mental health you can't fuck with. Like, that is not about weakness. That is not about weakness. And let me tell you, the fact that you came on this live, the fact that you're asking yourself the question, the fact that you're willing to do it shows that you're not weak. Now, you can show the entrepreneurial element of you. That is, now I'm going to assess whether this is actually good for me long term and good for my business long term. And so I'm going to ask you, is this good for you long term or good for your business long term?
Probably not.
Oh, we still have a probably.
I think it's a definitely. I mean,
where's the probably? What am I missing?
Oh, it's like totally. It's hard for me to just break that mindset. Okay, here's a little bit more context to the situation. When I first moved here, I was moving out of an apartment with my best friend, and we had a falling out, and he had told me it was fine to stay if I wanted to. I didn't have to leave, but I was like, no, like, it's, you know, I know you want to be alone, I want to save money. And then I realized it was really bad here, and so I tried to move back. And then he gave me this whole thing of like, you just give up whenever things are too hard. And
okay.
So now I kind of have this thing where I'm like, no, I have to make it work. And I was already like that.
Do you feel that there's truth to that? What he said?
I don't think.
Okay.
I'm like, core, like, I've been doing so much work about this in the past few months where, like, I know that this isn't true, but like, I feel like I have something to prove, and that feeling that I have something to prove, even though I know where it's coming from, is still hard for me to get over. But you're completely right. I need to get out of here.
Yes. And look, I also want to say, because I don't bullshit, that thing that you've got to prove can be a strength of yours. Like, you know, that person that I said that I don't know if you were watching the whole live, but I was like, I had a moment where there's some people that stabbed me in the back.
Yeah,
I use it as my fuel. It isn't poison to me, though. It doesn't hurt me like emotionally. It's not detrimental to my self-esteem, but it absolutely is my fuel. Absolutely. So again, if it is detrimental to your mindset, and if it's detrimental to how you show up for yourself, do not hold on to it. But if it helps fuel you, know when to use it.
Yeah. I think in some ways it does, in some ways it doesn't, with that particular situation. And like, you know, just finding that middle ground is the place to be. I'm literally going to look at apartments after this.
Freaking out. And honestly, like, if that means that you need to be in a 1-bedroom shoebox, but it's yours, like, mental health, we get so caught up in the luxuries of what we think we should have. And it's like, man, without your mental health, girl, then you don't really have anything. You know, I think that of myself as well. So thank you so much for coming on. This was so amazing. I really appreciate your rawness. And please do let me know how else, you know, me and Women of Impact can support. But you've been wonderful.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
All right, and keep me updated. In fact, I want to know.
I will.
So email connect@Impact Theory and let me know.
Okay, I will. Thank you so much.
All right, sweetie. Guys, I hope this brought you value. I am already 9 minutes late to my next meeting. I'm terrible with time management. It's actually something I'm very bad at. It's something I'm trying to kind of work on. So I haven't committed to it, which is why I'm still really bad. I really hope this brought you value. I didn't get to show you all the other books that I had, but in fact, I'm just going to spend a few minutes. My girl, Nicole LePera, her book is out. Guys, go freaking buy this. Do the work. This woman is amazing. If you don't know her, she's known as a holistic psychologist. She was on Women of Impact multiple times. Her book is out. So big shout out to my girl, Nicole LePera. Big shout out to my girl, Jamie Kanlima, who's got the book, Believe It. Another friend of mine. I just love shouting out all the incredible women in my life. She's got a book out. I have all of these on my shelf. So this goes back to how do I build the confidence? How do I show up every day? I have these books. These were all on my shelf behind. And then, of course, my homie, Evie Pomporas, Becoming Bulletproof. Guys, if you haven't seen or read this book, get it. We have multiple episodes out on Women of Impact, and we may have something very secret up our sleeve. Shh, I can't tell you, but we're working on something really epic behind the scenes. And then one more shout out, if you live in Los Angeles. They don't actually know that I'm doing this, but there's a company, as people may know, I have gut issues. There's a company locally where I get my ice cream from, and they are called Yogurt. Yogurt, get it? They make dairy-free ice cream with paleo and all ingredients that I can actually eat. And I ordered from them over the weekend, and they delivered. And this is, how freaking sweet is this? I ordered a lot. And they did a little hand note, and it says, "Thank you for your large order, you rock." Look, little handwritten note. The reason why I wanted to bring this on is this company actually found out is run by women. So if you live in Los Angeles, any love you can show, if you like organic, if you like dairy free, if you like gluten free, all of that stuff, I can eat from here. So I just wanted to give them a personal shout out. And the fact that they did a little handwritten note. Guys, this is the sort of thing that means so freaking much to me, to other people. If you're building your business, little things like this go so far, because I felt connected. I felt connected to the owner. And so I really love this. So this was really sweet. So guys, if you do know them and they are in your neighborhood, go check them out. Yoga Art. All right. Just join. I'm going to show you this one last thing, and then I'm peacing out. This is what motivates me. This here, right here, guys. So for International Women's Day, for International Women's Day, I want to show this final shout out to all you women out there, to all you men who are supporting your women out there. Just want to say happy International Women's Day, people, and let's rock this. Let's show everyone what women are made of. Yes. Till next time, be the hero of your own life. Peace out.